What? What's happening? Stone Cologne 316 here. What? What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Glad to be back. I haven't done a video at all this week, so I do apologize on that. It's just been kind of a hectic work week, so didn't have time during the week to film some content. And my daughter goes to bed pretty early, so I cannot disrupt her sleep schedule. Um, but we're back with another video. Today I wanted to cover some woody fragrances. Um, I realize I haven't done a list video talking about like woody dominant fragrances. I like a good woody backbone to a fragrance, whether it's with sandalwood, cedarwood, vetiver, um, you know, give or take oud. I'm still kind of dipping my toes in the oud fragrances. I'm not too big on it. There's just something about it's got to be a decent type of oud, that I have to really gravitate towards. But I have 10 of them. Most of these are fresh. Some of these are pretty spicy, a little smoky, a little resinous. Yeah, I mean, I try to cover like a, a versatile list of woody fragrances. Well, let's get into it. These are 10 woody dominant fragrances that if you don't know or haven't heard any of these, you should probably at least sample and get your nose on them because these are really good. So let's get it going. What? First up, I got this relatively recently. It was a rack store pickup at Burlington for about 30 bucks. It's from Paris Corner. Check your Burlingtons. Paris Corner fragrances are popping up. Paris Corner Khair. Very citrusy, fruity, and woody. It's this one's kind of a strange one because you'd think it comes off kind of mass appealing, but it's very kind of unique. This is supposed to be cloning. I forgot what the house was, but Imperial Valley. This is supposed to be a clone or an inspiration of. This was in my weekly rotation last week, and yeah, there's a lot of citruses, and there's like a lot of oud in it. Not like super heavy, but it's like a fresh, airy kind of citrusy oud fragrance. I don't really have anything else in my collection besides Sphinx Elixir. This is giving me a more fresh, airy take on Sphinx Elixir. It's very smoky, woody, and like kind of fruity. It has a similar DNA to this, but I figured this would be a good one to start off with because it has the ardwood, the garwood, and the oud in it. But it's got like pink pepper, bergamot, Davana, which is a kind of a sweet, sticky kind of note, gives it that fruity sweetness. But it's not dominant with sweetness. So I get about 8 hours on this. I've worn it maybe 2 or 3 times. So it's decent. If you want something different, you want to kind of stand out, this is probably a good one. Paris Corner, Khair, start off the list. Check that one out. Next, this one, again, this was in my rotation last week. I touched upon it a little bit, but it can't not be in this list. But it's Issey Miyake L'Eau pour Homme Vetiver. Very, very, very Vetiver dominant. This came out a couple years ago. This is very watery. Watery, soapy, clean, and woody. It's like a soapy vetiver that I get out of here. It's a Haitian vetiver, but very, very fresh, very invigorating. Definitely probably the woodiest, one of the woodiest fragrances in this list, but it's lingering in the air. Really clean, very, again, it's very soapy. It's got some ginger and a little bit of clary sage for some sweetness, just a tad, but it gives it a little bit more depth. But it's very dominant with watery notes and vetiver. So it's just a soapy, woody, clean type of fragrance. This would be great in at the office. I think I've worn this maybe once at the office, but springtime and summertime, I will be wearing this more. I used to wear it. You can see the dent. I used to wear it like a lot when I first got it in. So Issey Miyake, the Pour Homme line is just there's a rabbit hole to go down, and this is one of their better ones. So get your nose on this. You can probably find it for real cheap. Issey Miyake Pour Homme L'Eau Vetiver. Check that one out. Next, we all know about Dior Homme Sport and the many reformulations and versions and additions and whatever. This is a clone of Dior Homme Sport, the original, apparently, which I have smelled a long time ago. So they all kind of smell similar to me. But again, I don't own a bottle, but I have this one. It's from Maison Alhambra. It's Dark Door Sport. You could use this or Dior Homme Sport, but this one very very heavy with the cedar in the vetiver. It's a citrus woody aromatic basically, but it's got heavy citruses, bright lemon. It's got an alamy resin. It gives it some smokiness, but the cedar and the vetiver and the sandalwood really pop on me, and definitely gives it a good woody backbone. I get about 6 to 8 hours on this. Um, I got this less than $20. This is cheap hidden gem type of stuff, and the quality is pretty decent as well. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be Dior's quality, but yeah, it's mature. It's a little gentleman vibe. It's a great office setting type of fragrance, but again, it's citrus and woods, and it's just really good. The deep dry down, it's very very woody on me, and that's why this is in that list. Um, this is a really good one. Safe blind buy if you have sampled Dior Homme Sport or Dior Homme 2020, which I don't have a bottle of, but I am very, very much a fan of that fragrance. That could be in this list too. I just don't have, you know, I have something that smells similar to it, but I wanted to keep it more towards, you know, Dark Door Sport because it does have that Dior Homme Sport vibe, and it's citrusy and very woodsy. So Dark Door Sport, check that one out. Definitely a good one to make this list. Next, this one, I picked it up last year. This is another Paris Corner one. I did not find this at Burlington. This one I ordered online on, I think, their website. I forgot, aromaconcepts.com maybe. I believe that's where a lot of all of the Paris Corner fragrances, I think, are getting manufactured through. I may be wrong, but this one, it is a clone. Not a clone, but like it's a twist. It's supposed to walk the path of YSL Tuxedo, and this is Rifaaqat Adorn. This is incredible stuff. Smells better than Moustache EDP. The reason why this made this list is because it has heavy cedar. See that atomizer? The cedar oil or whatever they put in here is magnificent. I'm such a huge fan of this. I don't wear this nearly as much as I should, but I'm waiting for the right like situation to actually like wear this in public. I've worn this a couple times. I'm not saying I haven't worn it. I mean, there is a dent in here, but this is definitely geared towards the fall and the winter and date night. But the cool thing is you could probably get away with the summer evenings as well. I should state that. This cedar wood really kind of makes it airy and fresh a bit. It's very, very interesting. Um, there's tree moss, so it is a little earthy, but it's got that benzoin to give it that boozy kind of touch, that sweet boozy vanilla, ambergris, and all that. But really good stuff. The cedar is very dominant, and that's why when I researched this before I bought it, people were saying it's basically a cedar heavy version of YSL Tuxedo. So get your nose on this. Safe blind buy it if you own Moustache EDP and you want like a woodier take on like YSL tuxedo, or even if you have tuxedo and you want you want to try this in for the woody nuance, the cedar wood, check that out. This is some really good stuff. I need to wear this more, and I will be wearing this more this year. Paris Corner Rifaaqat Adorn. Check that one out. Next, this one really took me by surprise. Walks the path of Terre d'Hermes. It's from the Banana Republic Icon line. I believe it's the Icon line. I'm not sure. Um, Cypress Cedar. Cypress Cedar. Um, yeah, it is definitely a Terre d'Hermes citrus, woody, aromatic kind of fragrance. A little earthy. I love this stuff. My wife loves this stuff. I have a 30 ml. It's basically all I'm going to need. Sorry, I don't know if you can. Not focusing. There we go. They all look the same. But on this one, Cedar and Vetiver really make this thing, gives it that backbone, you know. It's earthy, it's got the patchouli and oak moss and musk, but it's got the heavy, bitter orange up top and pink pepper. There is a mint note up here. It's not like super minty. I think it just gives it a more green nuance. But really good stuff. I wore this to the office a couple times. It really smells good. It's just a solid. This could be a signature scent worthy type of stuff. I've been recently getting into the more Terre d'Hermes type of DNA stuff because realistically, to me, it gives off of like it's almost like a brighter, more bitter Aventus DNA type of vibe. I mean, genuinely, the dry down does kind of give me Aventus vibes with the Terre d'Hermes DNA. Um, but nonetheless, it does its own thing. It doesn't smell exactly like Aventus, but citrusy, woody, and earthy, this stuff gets the job done. I'm a big fan of it. Really, really into the Terre d'Hermes type style fragrances. And I was gonna put I'm sorry, Rasasi Fatan, which is closer to Terre d'Hermes, but this one's a little bit more woody than that one. So check your Burlingtons. I got this for like $12. It's a 30 ml. That's all you need. If you got a big collection like me, you just need a 30 ml. But Banana Republic, Cypress Cedar, really, really, if you want to pull the trigger on something that you haven't tried Terre d'Hermes and you want to get your nose on something that smells similar to that, like very similar, this is it. Banana Republic, Cypress Cedar. Check that one out. All right, next. This one's very vetiver heavy. When I first got this one, I was not a fan of it. I've had this for 4 years, and I'm glad I didn't get rid of it. I'm glad I didn't sell it. But it's from Lalique. It's Encre Noire Sport. Probably everybody's favorite in the line. You got your citruses. There's two types of vetiver. There's bourbon vetiver and a Haitian vetiver. So it's very smoky. But the thing that sets this apart is it's very watery. So a lot of people tout this, and I can kind of I can agree with. It's like you're walking through a damp forest, and you could smell the wood off the trees. You could smell like the woods, the earthy wood part of the scenery. So, but yeah, this is definitely this is their freshest one in the line. Um, I haven't tried the extreme. I don't think I tried the original. I think this is the only one I've tried. But there's a cashmere wood in here too that kind of gives it not like a leathery vibe, but it gives it a kind of like a soft wood type of vibe. I mean, it's this stuff is not for everybody. Not everybody's gonna like this. And there have been most people that have this one took them a while. It grew on them, myself included. So yeah, it had to make this list. It's the vetiver in here. That's the vetivers in the cashmere woods. Really give this a very unique experience. This cap likes to move, so I'm sorry. But yeah, Lalique Encre Noire Sport. Check that one out if you want to get into the vetiver. This is a good entry level vetiver fragrance. I mean, it is more earthy and it's more textbook, more realistic type of vetiver. But yeah, for 25 bucks, I got this for. This is like niche quality to it. So, Encre Noire Sport. Check that one out. Next, this one I haven't talked about at all. It actually popped up at me. I found the box in one of my drawers, and I was like, "Damn, I didn't. I thought I got rid of it. Apparently, I didn't." You guys are going to be shocked. You probably won't even know what this is, but nobody really talks about this one anymore. But I just lifted the cap, sniffed the cap earlier, and I was like, "Yeah, it's got to be in this list." Dolce and Gabbana Pour Homme Intenso. Didn't see that coming, huh? This smells exactly like the original, just cranked up. It's a more intense version of the original. The thing that's in here though, it's more woody to me. It's got a hay absolute note. There's a hay note, so like hay is generally kind of like a woody type of vibe. There's you still getting the tobacco, but then there's the brand absolute. I was looking at the notes earlier. There's a brand absolute. I'm not exactly sure. It's more. I think it's more like a wheat kind of vibe. It's a dry, just spicy, woody fragrance. Still maintains that freshness with the original. Still has that tobacco. Has that signature core DNA to it. Um, I mean, most people like the original over this, but I definitely need to start wearing this more because I haven't smelled it in a long time. I haven't worn it in a long time. And I'm starting getting the more mature type of fragrances. So this one definitely had to make the list. So Dolce Gabbana, Pour Homme Intenso. Check that out. I don't know if it's discontinued or not. So correct me if I'm wrong. If it is, um, I forgot. I think I got this for like 34 bucks at the time. This was a couple years back, but I've had this for a couple years. So Dolce Gabbana, Pour Homme Intenso. Check that one out. All right, now we're getting to the last three are probably my three favorite, and probably the highest quality out of all of the ones that you just saw. This one is up there too. So I think I ranked these pretty solid. But this one I've talked about before. I did a full review on it, and it was part of my weekly rotation last year. Well, I'm sorry, last week. What? It's Bentley for Men Absolute. This is the woodiest one in the line. Bentley for Men and Bentley for Men Intense and the Absolute are very similar, I've noticed. This one is just very dry, spiced woods. This one is so good. It lacks projection a little bit. It lacks performance. I know a lot of people are saying like what if they reformulated it or not, but it doesn't last as long as you think. It stays really close to the skin on me, but I wore this last Thursday, and I could still smell it when I came home. So it's not a big projector, but it did stay closer to the skin. I did get like a woody musk type of vibe on me by the end of the day, but really good stuff. You are going to get that pencil shaving type of stuff. There is oud in here, but it's not it's not funky oud. It's just very spicy, woody, and smoky. It's got oak moss, it's got the earthiness, but it's wood dominant. I mean, you want to smell like cedar wood, sandalwood, and some oud. This is the one. This is very masculine stuff. I got two compliments from wearing this. Um, my coworker Joe, she was like, "Damn, Ken, what'd you wear? You smell manly." And I was like, "Belly for Men Absolute. Shit, don't lie." Um, you can find this at the rack stores as well. I haven't seen them popping up, but over Christmas, the Bentley for Men fragrances were all there. Um, the original Intense, this one, the Absolute, and Black Edition were all popping up. The only two I didn't see there were the Azure and Silver Lake. I have every single one of these except Azure, which is like their blue freshie. But this one definitely makes this list. This has a great woody backbone. Gets compared to Gucci Pour Homme from 2003. Haven't smelled it, but it's a dead ringer for it apparently. So if you're looking for that, check this out. For $30, you can't beat it. Bentley for Men Absolute. Check that one out. Next, this one's a cult classic. Hyped for good reason. Very fruity, but the dry down is very woody. Mancera Cedrat Boise. I got the twist off cap one. Oh, it's very, very fruity. There's a fruity note. That's that's what it lists. It's fruity notes. So it's not just a one type of fruit, but citrusy, fruity, but the sandalwood and cedar really pop out at me in the far dry down. It gets a little smoky on me from the woods. And then you add that leather and vanilla, and it's just, this is all around. I think, honestly, and I'll probably do a list video this in the future, but if there's a do it all fragrance, if there's only one fragrance that you actually need in your collection that can literally do it all, I think this is the one. I think this is it. I think this caters to every type of style and genre of fragrances. I mean, it's fruity, it's citrusy, it's woody, it's fresh, it's spicy, it's kind of animalic, it's a little sweet. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little earthy. It's got some florals in it. It's really good stuff. Gets compared to Aventus a little bit. I totally get it. There's a lot of black currant in there. Um, it does its own thing. It's way more rich and kind of, I don't want to say creamy, but it walks the path of Aventus, but it's definitely not redundant whatsoever. If you own Aventus and this isn't redundant. I would probably pick this over Aventus, to be honest with you. Um, just an all around great versatile signature scent type of stuff. I mean, this is hyped for a good reason, and I will say this without a doubt. I only have tried a handful of Manceras, but this is their best one. I don't think I'm gonna find one that's got the same type of character and mass appeal. This is their most mass appealing fragrance. I've tried the intense version. I don't need it, to be honest, because I have this. So, Cedrat Boise, the cedar and the sandalwood really pop on this, and that's why it made the list. It's not super woody dominant, but on me, it is. It does. The woods do come out, and it's good stuff. Mancera, Cedrat Boise. If you haven't checked that out, get your nose on it. And last but not least, this one is just, it's very special. Um, I had to spend a lot. I've spent so much time with this because the wearing experience is different. It's from Zaharoff. It's Precious Treasure from the Bassius collection, private reserve collection, if you will. But this one came out right after Thanksgiving. But it kind of walks the same path as Belly for Men Absolute, which is funny because they're both black and they both have like a gold type of plating. I don't think George was going for that, but This is just really good stuff. There's a lot of pepper in this up top, but there's um, Australian sandalwood. There's some Indian ebony, and those are going to be the two main dominant woods in this. There's a Bushman's candle note that gives it a slightly like a waxy type of creamy waxy kind of vibe, but woody and spicy and resinous. This is um, just really really good stuff. A couple florals in here. There's a lot going on. This is anybody will like this, but you're gonna go nose blind to it. So just so that the wearing experience on this, like I'm already going nose blind to it, spraying it in the air. Like I could smell it off the cap, but now I've been spraying fragrances, so my nose is severely fatigued. But 9 or 10 hours into this thing, you're gonna smell. You're gonna smell it, but it's very wood dominant. I think it definitely belongs in this list. This is some really good stuff. Um, 12 plus hours with this. It doesn't choke anybody out, but it's a very sneaky performer. Um, it's just very unique, but it's also kind of mass appealing. So I don't know. I a lot of people were saying that they didn't like the wearing experience because they were thinking it's going to be a beast and all this, and it is a beast in its own right, but it's really airy. So it you have to caution with this that you can't treat this like a Dior Sauvage or a you know Blue de Chanel or a designer. This is some organic, natural stuff. It's synthetic, yes, but it's high quality synthetic stuff. So get your nose on this. Georgia samples on the website for $7, but check this out. Zaharoff Precious Treasure. And that's it. That's the list. Yeah, I don't know. I just they kind of popped up at me. I was like, you know what? I've been wearing some woodier type of fragrances recently, so let's talk about some of them. So, but yeah, those are my 10. Let me know if you guys have tried any of these. I'm sure you have. Um, let me know which ones that you like, you don't like. Let me know what you guys are wearing today, and I appreciate everybody's support so far. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. You know the drill. And that's the bottom line. What? Because Stone Cologne said so. Take care, guys. Have a good one. See you in the next one.